Welcome to Your Shoulder Voice. We're live.
Perfect.
We're live.
That's how we're doing. Good evening, everybody. How you doing out there? We hope you're having fun. We are just here to pretty much talk about whatever because Your Shoulder Voice, open forum, and it's been a fucked up week for a lot of us, so we're going to talk about it. Elena, how you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
A little shocked to go live this way, but what the hell?
I know, it's surprising.
I'm all worried about like redoing the music and stuff because we got canceled on the last two.
We didn't get canceled. We got flagged.
No, we were by the company that I got the letter if we go live. The company was the one. YouTube gave us the strike.
Oh.
The company, Epidemic Sound, which is my fault, because when I reactivated everything, I forgot to reactivate Epidemic Sound, and you have to maintain that subscription to maintain a copyright.
Gotcha.
So I had to wait
That's what
from
it was.
reactivating for them to get back to me, pretty much.
Gotcha. Awesome.
I thought somebody hacked you and copyrighted your show and was trying to cut you off or something. Or
No, they just flagged the music from one of the songs because they're one of my royalty-free sites that I pay for. I don't know which
Makes
one
sense.
that was. So I had to wait till that got approval if we went live with it again. That was it. Bill, what's going on? Nobody cares. Nobody's here.
that's right.
I was like, just one of those shows.
It's all right. They can watch it later.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Why is this live?
They're actually saying, "Oh, it should be over by now. It's 9:30."
Yeah, well, now we just starting over here. We're just starting. We didn't
Maybe we'll
schedule
catch
this or
Drina.
anything.
She came on really late last time.
That's what I'm hoping for. I did it for Drina. I did it all for Drina.
She's our favorite.
I do love her. She's awesome.
She is awesome.
So what have people done so far to get in the Halloween spirit this year? Anything fun?
I finally saw yesterday.
Nice.
I was very, very impressed with it.
You were.
I was talking to Brandon before we went to see it, and I didn't know if it was going to be less gory because, like, I don't know, back in the day you used to be able to get away with a lot more stuff. So I was worried that it was going to be less gory, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was not.
Yeah.
So that made me really happy. And I feel like the twists and turns in it were very Saw-esque. Like, I feel like they stayed pretty true to the brand.
I'm gonna have to completely disagree with you on that one. But
Really?
Bill, did you see it?
I did, and I didn't like it.
Oh shit! I guess I'm the only one.
Well, Elena, have you watched them all?
Yes, it's my
Oh, okay.
favorite franchise of
Okay.
movies.
Oh, take her off. She didn't say Halloween's her favorite franchise. Just kick her off the screen.
I've never
It's
seen
not
one Halloween movie.
It's not my favorite franchise either, honestly. Halloween used to be my favorite franchise, but it dipped too far off the rails.
Yes, but they got the new one coming out next year.
Yeah, whoop-de-fucking-do. They had a new one coming out the last 3 movies. And
All right, I want to
before
know what you
that.
guys didn't like about Saw.
I didn't. Okay, first of all, I like 33% of Saw. Anybody out there, of course, there's at least one of us. What do you think of Saw? How did you like Saw X? We're going to be spoiling a couple movies here as we talk about them for Halloween. My issue with 33% of the film I thought was good. I thought the middle was good, and not just because of the kills and the gore, which were well done in true Saw fashion. But the biggest problem the thing I liked about the kills that I actually enjoyed was the setting of it. The kind of single room, this is kind of a revenge, you were on this thing, all directed at the same incident, which was very unique to Saw, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But the first third of the movie was boring as hell for something we already have all seen.
Yeah, we already knew
And
he
we
had
already know
cancer.
everything.
Yeah.
We know this isn't going to work. You're drawing this out way too much, and you're actually boring me about halfway through that first third.
Right.
I'm like, can we get to something here? And the kill that I was least impressed with was the one that was on the poster from the very beginning. That wasn't even an actual kill. Drina, yeah, we won. Drina, what's going on?
Woo!
We were just talking about you. Good to see you on here. We were just talking. We were hoping you were going to make it because we're on later tonight, so we were hoping that you were going to show up. Good to see you. You like Saw, but it's not scary, kind of funny.
I do agree that it's not scary. It's just gory.
I think Saw had to figure out where it was and what it wanted because everybody praises the first movie. I don't think the first Saw movie was that good. The twist of the first Saw movie made that movie.
Well, yeah. And I feel like that's how they all are. They all
Yeah.
have a big twist in them.
And that, in a sense, is what I didn't like about this last one. Because I didn't think this twist was a surprise twist. I didn't think it was anything. I didn't think it was worthy of a Saw twist. I'd have been better
Okay.
off if this movie was Spiral and not Saw 10.
Okay.
And I'm interested to see where it goes. And I personally think they're grooming the new kid to be the new Jigsaw character in modern day.
Okay,
I
fair.
think that's what they're going to do with that kid, which I'm actually game for.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
think that's creative because he'll be in his 20s, when they do the next film.
Right.
Completely didn't. It was also the way the last trap worked was too much of a perfect storm for it
Yeah.
to work.
I was thinking about that a little bit while watching it. I still loved the way it ended up. I hated that fucking cunt lived, obviously.
Right.
But what do I know?
Well, I'm sure that's to bring her back for the next one because I do like her character. I liked her character a lot.
I
She was
liked
a
her character
ruthless
too. She was
character.
horrible. Like that was the
Yeah.
character. She played it well. So I liked that aspect of it.
But I just thought the perfect storm was too much to buy. I thought, okay, you're supposed to have Amanda on the other side of this trap, but this is all the trick because while she's in the trap and you're bloodboarding yourselves, I know the kid got involved afterwards. They had to stop and just leave while you were dying, not wait till you're dead. Go upstairs, find the money, and pull the money during this trap for you to set it free. Out of the blue. You met this guy once. You had no way to discern this much information. The last time you saw her, you trusted her, so you'd have no idea how her mind worked. Unlike a lot of the other traps and the other characters, where you can say, I followed you, I know how things work, I know who's going to do what. Not with her. Last time you saw her, you fully trusted her.
Yeah.
In every way. And you had to plan exactly what they were going to do, when they were going to do it, that they were going to stay. And for some reason, after setting off the alarm, waited 2 fucking minutes to even try to go out the door.
Right.
It didn't even close right away. It just stayed open.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I still did like it. And Saw just holds, it's very close to my heart. It was the first scary movie I ever saw. And I watched it for the first time when I was way too young to watch it. So when I did see that first movie, it was scary type of thing.
No, and I mean, it was what they did and the kind of traps they had. It was definitely, especially
The traps were great.
Torture porn was scary as hell, and it was really well done.
Yeah.
But the ending made it, because aside without that ending, it was just a cool one-off movie, whatever.
Right.
And the second one, the same thing. I thought they did not hit the kind of ending they should have with the first movie, but I didn't think they could. Because everybody was looking for an ending, and I thought they did a phenomenal job. And I think they've always kept, even sometimes it's ridiculous, but kept with a good shocker ending. This one I felt was predictable. I think was the biggest problem.
I mean, I didn't find it predictable, but I can never predict endings. I'm just bad at that. That's not my forte.
That could be why I see it a little differently on there. And
That could
I
be
didn't
it.
think it was bad. I just didn't think it lived up to the Saw status. And as Drina says here too, the first was scary for her, but now kind of expected and laugh aloud. And that's where I was torn with the new film, because the new film, I think, did do something different, which I respect. But you should have done that with the last 2 films that were supposed to be something different and were the same old, same old.
Yeah.
And this one's supposed to go back true to form, and this is where you actually, I think, did something different. I didn't hate it. I thought it was a decent movie for what it was. I will probably see the next one when it comes out. I will likely keep watching Saw movies till the day I fucking die.
Same.
Because
I watch all of them every October.
Yeah. What about you, Bill? What did you think of it?
Well, I was kind of like you. Like I said, with me, if the movie's boring in the beginning, all right, I'm going to sleep on the damn thing. And like I said, it's like watching a drama or a sorority flick. If there's no boobs in the beginning of it, I'm going to sleep. But this was
I mean,
it was too damn boring at the beginning, and it was predictable. But yeah, you do run out of ideas sometimes and stuff, and you could just see stuff coming sometimes, I guess. So,
like I said, I do respect what they did, and if the whole point of the franchise is to introduce this new character to maybe continue the franchise without Tobin Bell,
mm-hmm.
and just stop going back to him, maybe a flashback or two, because they can't help themselves, and go
Right.
back to this new kid who just takes up the legacy. Okay, I accept it a lot more for what it is, but if they don't do anything with that, I don't feel this gave us enough. Just some cool kills, and that's about it, and something we already knew. The whole, even after he had the surgery, and talk about your life begins and everything's great and good, like the whole audience fucking knows this didn't work. We watched you die 5 movies later.
Exactly. So I do agree with you that they spent too much time on that.
Uh-oh. Do you have headphones?
No.
All right. Well, that's okay. I'll take care of that.
Okay.
How you doing, Nikki?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Keith?
I am very good. Good to see you on here. We're just talking about some horror movies and stuff. One we're talking about recently is Saw X. I know you saw that great, wonderful movie,
Oh
didn't
my
you?
God. That movie was viciously gory. What in the hell? I was not expecting that at all.
All the Saw movies are viciously gory.
I had never seen it before. I had never seen
Oh,
any.
okay.
It was my son who wanted to go. So I took him. But I didn't know what I was taking him to.
Fair.
She was like the guy in the film who says, "You guys are fucking crazy." That was her leaving the film.
I literally
we like
I
it. Like, you guys are fucking nuts.
I was hiding my eyes most of the bad scenes.
As you watch those, Drana says also Friday the 13th. Isn't it about time we got another Friday the 13th film out there? I mean,
No.
they do it right. Not
No.
you. I'm not talking to you, Nikki. Just
They
one
had the
drop of
script.
blood.
How many
They had
are
this.
there, though?
Well, they had the script for number 113, but no one wanted to pick it up and make the movie. So
Well, people give a lot of hate to the 2009 reboot of Friday the 13th, which I don't think deserved all the hate. I thought it had some areas where it delved into him, like being, building this cage and hiding out, type like what they did with Michael Myers in the tunnels and stuff like that. I thought that went a little overboard, and him holding a girl, saving her like his prize. I'm like, this isn't
Yeah,
Jason.
yeah.
But aside from that stuff, I thought what they did with the basic elements of the horror movie was good. It was a good way to bring it back, reboot it simultaneously. He came back from space somehow.
Yeah, that one was weird. Was that like the Freddy versus Jason or?
There's two. There's Freddy vs. Jason, and then there was Jason X, which is the one where he's sent in space, which I fucking loved. But you had to accept it for being the campy movie it was. Like,
Yeah.
it poked fun at itself the whole time, and I like when a movie does that. Chucky, the Child's Play series, I think that did that better than any series at poking fun at yourself. Because
Oh, yeah.
their series became that and became more successful because of it versus the originals, which were just kind of your B-movie slog with a killer doll.
Yeah.
But I think Friday the 13th, they keep trying to do everything. Nightmare on Elm Street's one that's due to make a comeback, too, because that reboot was terrible.
It was
Hopefully they'll do
horrible.
something, yeah. They always make that crucial mistake, just like with Halloween and Rob Zombie did. Stop trying to make us care about these killers. The killers are scary because they don't have a motivation. Sometimes that's what makes a character evil.
Yeah.
And I hate when they do that. I didn't want to try, even though they flipped it on its head afterwards with Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't want to feel sorry for child molesting, raping, killing Freddy Krueger.
Right.
I don't want to say, oh, poor Michael Myers, that's why he killed his sister, because he was abused. No.
Like, I don't
wanna
care
s-
about their backstory.
Right.
The
I
first
don't need a
movie-
backstory.
Yeah.
Right, the first movie set it up perfectly. Sister dies, he's standing there with a knife in his hand. Everything
That's all
you
we
need to
needed.
know, some kid has just had his switch flipped, and he's psycho evil. And Donald Pleasant's character, Dr. Loomis, covered it right throughout the first movie. Said he was just evil, nothing, never said a word, didn't do anything. We knew this character. And somebody said, we just didn't develop him enough.
Yeah.
You really didn't feel the hate when he stabbed somebody. As he pushed the head through those jail bars, you just didn't understand why. Any other series besides, we're going to go into Exorcist in a minute, because Exorcist was definitely an interesting one I wanted to talk about. Any other series they should bring back?
Series?
That's long overdue. Well, movie series or franchise, but even television is good.
Oh.
But like in the Halloween genre or something that's horror genre that's long sat dormant. that should
I mean, if
come
you're
back.
talking about any series, I just finished the new season of Big Mouth, and that was way too short.
It was. Big Mouth is one. I know it's not Halloween, but you got to talk about Big Mouth because Big Mouth.
It's so good.
Is
I
it scary? What
laughed.
is it?
It's an adult cartoon.
Oh,
It's Nick Kroll and John
very
Mulaney.
adult cartoon.
okay.
I kind of personally feel Big Mouth has crossed the threshold.
It's getting
A little
like
bit.
almost too bad.
Right.
It's
I
like
mean,
right
Is it
there.
raunchy?
It's very raunchy. The whole premise of it is this group of middle school kids are going through puberty.
Oh God.
Like that's the whole premise of it.
you know what the coolest thing about the show is, though? They do it in a raunchy, vulgar, disgusting way that you never saw kids animated doing and all this stuff.
Exactly.
But you
There's no
relate to
rules
it.
because it's a Netflix show, so there's no rules. They can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
But you relate to it.
Oh yeah.
Because everything they tell you, like, I remember dealing with that when I was a kid and stuff like that. And it's so weird. It's like, this is gross. This should not be on here, but I remember that shit.
Exactly.
That was crazy. And I think they go for more shock value in the later seasons. I do think they're pushing the envelope to the point of you might go too far.
Oh yeah.
Is it a
Um,
TV series?
It's a
I'm
Netflix
assuming?
series.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay. I'm a
Nick
Hulu
Kroll
girl.
voices like 90% of the characters himself.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
yeah. Anybody excited for Beetlejuice 2? Or Gremlins 3?
Yes, I am excited about Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is my favorite growing up.
Are you afraid of them bringing it back at all?
No, I'll be curious to see, see how the remake is or the part 2 or whatever, however they're throwing it out there.
Now, my understanding is, first I heard that the original cast wasn't going to be in it. Now, some people say some is going to return. I mean, Michael Keaton will be in it.
Yeah.
I know Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, I'm pretty sure, aren't in it.
What is it? Winona Ryder?
Winona Ryder, yeah.
I wonder if she's going to be in it.
I think Jenny Ortega is supposed to be Winona's daughter in the film.
I really like her.
Do we
I
give a
didn't
moment?
at first, but I do now.
Do we give a moment of silence for Chandler Bing?
Well, we did that earlier.
Oh, well, I'll give my moment.
Okay, let's give a moment. Not just Chandler Bing, though. Also Richard Mall.
Who?
Richard Mall. You don't know
The
who that
tall
is.
guy from Night Court.
Yeah, the bald guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he passed away
Aw.
as well.
Dang.
Yeah, Big Mouth is definitely, she was talking about Big Mouth here, it's definitely not
It's
one
so
of those
raunchy.
sit around the family shows to watch.
No.
But it is one of those things that you're just
It
like,
is
I
damn
can't
funny.
help but keep watching.
It's so funny. It's so horribly hilarious.
I don't get a lot of TV time, so I feel very deprived.
Well, that's okay.
It's something
don't
you
have
like
to.
smoke a little weed and then put it on and you're going to have a great time.
The best shows
Gotta
are
have a
the ones
buzz
you
on
don't
and laugh
expect.
your ass off.
Yeah.
I'll
So
have to. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. No, is Michael Keaton getting too old to do Beetlejuice? Don't you think?
Yeah, isn't he like 107, 108?
He's getting
I mean,
there.
No. What is
he's
he,
older than I am, so I know that.
So he's in his hundreds.
He's in-
That's what I said. So he's 107 or he's 108.
I wish I had my phone so I could Google it.
You know, we have to give out to The Simpsons because the Treehouse of Terror or Horror or whatever, that's their number 113 or something like that. I don't know how many years they've been on, but
Yeah, they're on, I think, the 30th or 31st Treehouse of Horror right now.
Really?
Wait, we were talking about
Yeah.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
I already forgot. He's 72.
72, really?
Yeah,
told ya.
How does
did
he
it.
look for 72? Have you seen a recent picture of him?
He looks
Well-
like he's 107.
Really?
He looks
Robert
not
and
that
Peter
bad to
Went.
me.
Huh? He looks
He
what?
doesn't look
He looks
that
not
bad.
that bad.
Really?
He was in The Flash, and I think he did a good job in The Flash. But I don't think I don't think the movie was great, but I thought he did a good job for the character. But Beetlejuice requires so much more
Energy
animation and energy
yes.
that's
Yeah.
what I'd worry about bringing him back for. He can probably pull it off. We might not be giving him enough credit, or I might not be giving him enough credit for it. I'm excited to see it because I like Beetlejuice, but I really like the cast and I wanted to return. And I know they all can't. What's her name? The mother, Can't think of her name now.
That's what I was going to say. The redheaded lady. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? What is her name?
I always want to call her Pam Reed, but she's not Pam Reed. It's a other redhead I know.
No, she's
but
got like, I think it's a 3-word name. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, from Home Alone and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So she is. What about Gremlins?
Kevin!
Oh, Gremlins would be. Are they bringing another one out? Are they doing another one? Stop
Yeah,
it.
no, this has been talked repeatedly and ditched, but supposedly it's fully on track now, and they started doing say they had it pen and ready to go. And with the way they're bringing about legacy sequels and reboots now, I totally think it's possible.
What? You know what I would love to see come back? E.T., like another E.T. possibly, or Elf. Do you remember Elf?
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'll be so E.T. best costume I saw. I didn't actually see it. It was another part. I was working on some bad video. Somebody's costume for the Halloween party. They were dressed like Elliot from E.T.
Really?
And they had a basket on their front, and they had E.T. in it, like he's riding the bike. And
Yeah.
they had their husband, whoever's friend, was dressed as the moon and just kept walking by them.
Stop it. No, stop it.
So that they flew across the moon. I'm like, that is the best costume ever right there.
That's phenomenal.
I absolutely love that.
That is great. First place. First place.
I wasn't at the party, but I called the bar. I said, buy him a drink on me, because I love that.
Wow. So what do we think of this, like, fiery, crazy hairdo?
I love it.
It's
all
fire,
hiding.
girl. It's fire.
I couldn't style it, but
Actually, it looks really
Fun and
cool.
sassy.
I didn't.
I love how bright it is.
I know. I left it on for like 2.5 hours.
Oh, damn. There you go. That'll make it bright.
Yeah. Plus, you don't shampoo. You just rinse with really cold water till it's clear. Don't shampoo for a day.
All right, so let's go to the next movie we're going to talk about. Nikki, I don't think you've seen this one. But, Bill, have you seen Exorcist Believer yet?
No.
You have not. All right.
I have
you ready
not.
For spoilers?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we're good. What'd you think, Elena?
So I want to preface, I've only seen the original and then the new one.
That's all you needed to, so that's fine.
That's what I've been told, so that was fine. I thought it was good. I liked how it paralleled the first one a lot. I felt like that was really cool for the first one being made so long ago to kind of parallel it. And I like that they referenced the first one a few times. I thought that was pretty cool.
Is Carol any of the original people in it?
Yes.
Yeah, there is.
Is that creepy old guy in it?
No, there's only 2 originals that return.
Oh.
Yeah.
And not really for very long, which I'll go into in a minute.
And I felt like it was on the same scariness level as the first one, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think to a point it was. Spoiler alerts coming up for Exorcist Believer. If you haven't seen it, just wait till you see that disclaimer disappear at the bottom of the screen. The first half, I was like, why are people hating on this movie? This movie is great. This is following the formula. This is a slow burn like the original Exorcist. I like what you're doing. I'm totally into the movie.
I'm waiting.
And then all of a sudden, bam, everything moves at a different pace. There's no build anymore. It was so quick, it almost made no sense to me and was done.
Really?
Like, they jerked so quickly through that second half of the movie, scene by scene. We went from 5 minutes of movie screen time from a girl starting to be possessed to full-on fucking demon possession, throwing shit everywhere. And which is cool in a lot of movies, but not The Exorcist. The Exorcist was a build-up to that point, and they started it that way.
Yeah.
Was it a victim of like all the strikes, the writer's strike, and where they had to rush?
I don't think so, because I think Exorcist was finished.
It was probably done filming before that happened.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, true.
Because the register was July, or it was wrapping up, but the script and everything should have already been written and set up. So
yeah,
I don't think that had an impact. And what they did with the legacy character, one of the main ones, I think was awful. First, it's the mother from the first Exorcist, and again, spoiler alerts, she does not make it far through that movie.
Really?
No.
I mean, she stays alive till the end, but she's pretty much out of the movie very shortly after introduced.
Yeah.
And they, like, mutilate her for nothing, and her performance was terrible. What's her name? Christy. She had an awful performance in it.
Yeah.
Really?
And I didn't even understand why she returned. And I don't mean disrespect to her character, because in the original, she was great.
Oh, in the original, she was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I respect her 100%, but she clearly did not want to be in this film.
No, like the writers clearly begged her.
Yeah, and they did. They
Really?
offered her a shitload of money to do it, and you could tell with the performance. She showed up, and just the way that worked too. Like I was talking, it went such a fast pace. So like, oh well, there's this one girl who was a mother to Reagan, the original Exorcist, or the original girl was the mother. So okay, well, I won't think any further after this couple minutes, and I will go on down and find this mother and bring her back with me.
Yeah.
No question, no nothing. And then of course the returning. I can't remember her name. Oh, spam. Okay. Spam comments. I can't remember her name for some reason. It's escaped me. It's Chris McNeil. I think it is.
The mom?
She's like, no, I'm yeah. She's like, no, I'm not returning. I'm never coming back. 2 minutes later, I'm on my way. Let's do this.
Yeah.
No reason, really, no rhyme, and that's what I mean. They jumped from one thing to another with no development.
Ew.
But
I
the
don't
whole
like that.
start of the movie, I would have rather seen this be an hour longer film to fill these gaps and to run at the pace of the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie. Because
Yeah.
it was creepy in the beginning. It got me chills. It reminded me, like you said, of the first one. They revisited so much. I loved it.
Mm-mm.
And
Bummer.
then they bring Reagan back at the end, Linda Blair, for a brief, cheap cameo.
Right.
That
When
meant
is-
nothing. Maybe to carry her on in the next one because it's supposed to be a trilogy. But
I was gonna say my son said there was gonna be a trilogy. I wonder when they're gonna push that one out.
with the way this one's performing, I don't know if there will be now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because it's performing very poorly. Nobody's happy with it. And I'm thinking, you were able to get Linda Blair, but you offered the money so much, the mother, so Chris McNeil, so much more money.
Right.
She probably, maybe she has better negotiators.
I was gonna. Well, Linda Blair, I haven't seen her in anything recently. Bill, you watch these movies. Have you seen Linda Blair in anything?
Linda Blair's not been in anything, but she's like, and part of it is because she's a big time animal rights activist. And
Is that the old lady, the older
Linda,
woman?
no, Linda Blair is
Blair.
was the
girl,
original
Exorcist.
little girl in the first
oh.
Exorcist.
Oh,
So now, like I said, she does animal rights stuff and stuff like that. So I don't think she's been acting in anything anywhere lately. So
Well, to the three on here that have seen it, because I know Nikki, you haven't. Did Exorcist need this treatment? Did you've had so
I've
many
seen the
spin-offs of
original.
Exorcist.
I've
Did it need
definitely
this
seen the.
treatment? Oh, you've
Huh?
seen the original. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did it need this treatment? Does it need a reboot like a lot of these movies out there?
Did
Or
it
do you
need
think
what,
it
like a
shits on the
remake, or
original?
just leave leave
Yeah.
good enough alone?
Because the original Exorcist, like that's like everyone knows that movie. For the time, it was the scariest movie of all time. Like they did so well making the original one, and I feel like they could have done a lot more with this one. That it seems like they dropped the ball, so it almost does feel like you should have just left it alone.
I was reminded because this was David Gordon Green doing this, and you go back to the Halloween films, they just did a trilogy. It was kind of the same thing he did with Halloween Ends. In reverse, Halloween Ends was all shit we didn't want, moving at a pace that didn't make sense with the Corey character in the beginning, and then jumped to a bam, here's Laurie, let's finish this fight out. And I almost feel like it was reverse in this movie with The Exorcist, because you started out giving us what we all wanted,
Yeah.
which was the feeling of the original Exorcist and going back there, and then ended it up, but we're going to be like every other horror movie out there. And the other problem I had was, big spoiler alert, for anybody, if you need to cover your ears here, Bill, go ahead. But there's two daughters. One ends up having to be sacrificed.
Really?
And as an audience, we're supposed to fear which one's getting sacrificed. As a viewer, we've got about 30 seconds screen time of one of the girls.
Yeah.
And the other girl we focus the entire movie on. Who the fuck do you think is getting sacrificed? Who's gonna? There's no shot because you didn't develop that character at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Just poor writing, it sounds like.
It kind of is, but you head
Or
in the
probably
right direction.
directing too.
And somebody says things like, let's change it, let's do this different. But you already have what people want. If you're going to bring back a franchise, follow the formula of the franchise.
Right.
Or at least the ones people want to go back to. Don't have to follow the story, please don't. But actually look at what made that film good. If you're
What
doing an
about
Exorcist,
Poltergeist? What do you
and
think about?
I didn't like the remake of Poltergeist.
I
I
haven't seen the
love the
remake. I've
original.
only seen the original. Yeah, but there was multiple, right? There weren't there multiples. Yeah,
There was The Other Side Part 2 and then Poltergeist
yeah,
3
yeah.
Mhm.
on there. What at that point, Caroline died, or whatever her name was, the
That's
little
what
girl
I was
actor.
thinking. Exorcist was at first. That's why I said Carol Ann.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah, but
So that was another one that I'm like, and this is where I don't think it's their fault or our fault because I don't think anybody knows what they want. They
Yeah.
want to revisit the feeling of that film. I'm just as guilty of this, but I don't want the same story.
yeah,
Right.
And the directors want to make something new, but they want to throw so much fan service in or throw much stuff back to the original. They forget to make an original story,
yeah.
and they get going on the right track with almost all these films. The new Halloween's, the first one, was a good return to form. I didn't think it was a great film, but it was a nice return to form. And then you go downhill. Let's do this. Let's change this. The Exorcist, same thing. True to form, goes
I
downhill.
don't. I don't know
Poltergeist,
which new. Because were there? Is there two newer Halloweens?
the third trilogy, the 3 movie trilogy of the Halloween reboots just ended, or whatever you want to call them, legacy sequels. Just it was Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends.
I don't know. I think
Halloween,
it was Halloween Kills, maybe that I took my son to. I don't know which. I'd have to ask
then you
him.
definitely know the phrase "Evil dies tonight." Uh,
One of whatever one I saw, I was like, wow. It just was. I don't know. I didn't like it as much as like the original Halloweens. I just didn't like.
and I liked
Maybe it
what
was the acting. I don't know.
I thought the first one was decent for coming back. I didn't like the idea of eliminating Halloween 2. I didn't like getting rid of the character or the relationship with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. And people bitch like that's not how it was originally written. And you're right. But that is how your franchise was written.
Yeah.
And once you introduce that in part 2, that was even reluctantly directed, you made that canon. And for you to go midway, because technically the first and second Halloween films are one film.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Are you
follow
talking
each
the
other completely.
Yeah.
originals?
Well, number one follows right into number two.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
Number
I
2
gotcha.
picks up the same night right where it left off, and it continues. It's not even
Oh,
one that says 1 year later. Like, it is straight through a continuation of that first night.
really? So whichever one I saw, I don't know why I keep going back to this, but they were all. It was like something at a hospital. Like they
You
were
saw
like.
Halloween Kills
Okay.
then.
I
That
didn't
was
like it.
Halloween Kills.
I didn't
And
like
that
that.
was terrible movie. That was terrible.
Yeah.
It was brutal. They get certain aspects. Like, you want to update from out an audience, you're right. You can't do some of the kills you did in original films. Because your
Yeah.
audience wants more. Your audience
Yeah.
expects more.
Well, there was a lot of kills, but it was like I don't know. it was not Halloween kills. It
I'm
was
beginning to
not.
think that J.J. Abrams and David Gordon Green have a lot in common when it comes to film trilogies.
Hmm.
Because
When
they
do you
all
say
do it. They
enough is
have no
enough?
direction.
Like when do they say enough is enough? Okay, we don't need to make no more of these.
That's
Let's
what I mean. That's what I
like
mean by, like,
write something else.
is this necessary to bring these films back?
Yeah.
You know,
It's because
yes,
they can't develop a new character that, they are confident that will like win the hearts of people and sell movie tickets. So they're just going with what they know. They're going
but
with
they
what they
do.
know.
They try too hard because they do. Megan is a great new character.
oh,
You
that's
know,
great. I love
yeah.
that.
Megan was a fantastic horror film. I mean, I don't know. Elena's smiling about that. You kind of look like Megan.
Megan. Is that a movie? Whole other movie?
Oh,
Yeah,
you need to watch that one, Nikki. You'll love
Megan's a good
that.
one.
Really?
Megan's
Is
actually
it gory?
no,
Okay.
no. It depends. If you watch the unrated version, there's a little bit more like horror type scenes in
Hmm.
there, but it was designed kind of in a Spielberg horror kind of fashion, as far as I'm concerned. Where it's just got a really good quality to it, basically.
Ooh, I just thought of another good one. That I think they made a couple of, and it just kind of like fell off. Hellraiser.
Hellraiser just came back and did another one, which I actually like what they did with the recent one. I think they're on their 9th movie. Was Hellraiser?
Really?
Was the recent one?
I think I've
They
only seen a couple.
yes. There's so many. Now we have better technology and stuff like that. So redoing Hellraiser, I thought was a good idea. I think they could redo The Omen. It would be
I would
good.
love to see the Omen redone. That's one of my
If
favorite.
they redid The Omen, it would be fucking phenomenal.
But they did it already.
It wasn't good.
I know that's the problem.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now, if they sat and looked back and actually got mental ideas of what the hell is going on and stuff like that, and use their technology they have, they could do anything with it. It would be great.
Hey, I'm gonna try something because I want to share this stream. I should have did it before, but I'm gonna switch over and see. Hopefully, it doesn't like mess me up.
Or us.
Okay.
Can I ask what the stream is of?
Us.
Oh, us? Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
The stream of us. Okay, that's fine on there.
I want a new Paranormal Activity.
Oh yeah.
Because I felt like that was a series that like genuinely did fuck with people's minds a little bit.
Really?
A tiny little bit. And again, it was one of those ones where I saw the first movie when I was too young to see it. 1000%. So, and I feel like it does a little bit fuck with people just because it's just like it's documentary style and it's just people being like, shit's happening around my house, watch it. And then you see the shit happen. And like I feel like all of the actors, especially in the first two movies, were phenomenal. And I feel like they did a really good job of genuinely being scared.
The first one, I was not a big fan even of the first one, but I give credit for what the first one did. I thought it was a cool concept, and it was the time for that found footage style horror camera footage.
Right. And I feel like they could do it now, like set in present day so well because so many people have cameras around their house now.
I think so, but I think at the same time, maybe pull away from that style of shooting. You know, and actually, because that format
But I feel like that's outdated. What makes it scary, though. Is that it seems real.
But you've seen Ghost Dimension, and there's a few other ones. I don't remember which one's which. I've seen them all, but I don't remember which one's which. And some of them were just piss poor terrible.
Yeah.
They were just like the originals, and sometimes I think you need to leave the format, because the format was popular at the time. It's like these movies that come out and shoot in the old, like, 70s 70mm format or something like that for their movies, because, hey, we're trying to be retro.
Right.
We're not in that retro area anymore.
Fair.
You know, make your movie match. And sometimes I think, like, if you brought Blair Witch back, and they did bring Blair
yeah,
Witch.
they did.
Yeah. Maybe what made Blair Witch wasn't that it was a camera film. It made it good. It was the belief of it being a real story.
That's what I feel like how Paranormal Activity was.
And, well, yeah, but they've gone off the rails is what I'm saying from it.
Yeah, I want them to come back with one that's more similar to the first movie.
But it's hard to do when you're shooting in that format of the camera work. You can't develop really good backstory or anything, or do anything more like to develop your film where it's coming from, because your protagonists don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so you end up repeating the formula.
Yeah.
You can't have somebody this is what happened before, and this is what these ghosts want this time, because they have no idea.
What about Purge? I feel like
Purge should be coming back.
Yeah, I feel like
that's a great franchise.
Like they could really.
It's a really cool concept,
and they could dig into like kind of the what's been happening in the world.
I would not. Really I don't know if I would want that. I'm a huge fan of the Purge films. I love the Purge films because, like you said, Elena, the concept is just amazing.
It's just super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, anybody out there, if there's any movies you think should come back, any franchises, especially in the horror genre that are long since dormant, we'd love to hear about them from you and bring them up. But what the Purge did for the last movie really hurt the franchise, I think.
I don't think I saw the last one.
I don't know if it wasn't election year. It was. Do you remember which one it was called?
Yeah, I can't even think of it. I just watched it again the other day. Yeah. Holy shit.
I can look it up if it's going to bother you.
They were so focused on, well, basically Trump and kids in cages and everything going on, that they kind of lost the meaning of the Purge.
The last one was Forever Purge.
Yeah, the Forever Purge. That was it.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and it was way too political, and we don't need our movie political.
No, we deal with that in real life. That's why I go to the
Right.
movies.
We go to the
Right.
movies to get away from that. And that's one thing that they
Right.
just don't understand when they're making these movies.
Yeah, it's stupid.
The Purge is one of my favorites. Final Destination, I'm waiting to come back as well.
Yes.
Those are great. Those fuck
That
with
was
you.
Bruce Willis. Is Bruce Willis in that? Or no, that's not Bruce Willis. I know who it is, but I
Did
don't
you
know.
guys see that horror film that came out? I think it was last year, Malignant.
I thought that was a fantastic movie.
I thought that was the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking
I
life.
thought that was fantastic.
Like Brandon and I went and saw it like the first week it came out. The theater's packed. Like like credits roll, and I looked over and said out loud at full volume, "Well, that was fucking dumb." And everyone starts laughing around me. Like everyone agreed that movie sucked.
How did you not like Malignant?
It was bad. The concept was ridiculous.
Okay. How was it ridiculous?
So, for those of you who haven't seen it, the whole
Hold on,
concept
I'll-
of I mean, it came out over a year ago, but
Yeah, nobody should need a spoiler, but just to have one. out
just
there.
in case. So the concept of this film is that this lady she had like a twin. He was her twin, right?
Yeah.
Who became possessed and is now living in her head. And at the beginning of the movie, she like bangs her head on the wall, cracks her skull open, and now the demon can come out and control her body. It's so fucking ridiculous and so fucking stupid.
To be fair, that's not how you explain the film.
But that's what happened. That was the baseline of the movie.
That is not the case. Elena was just too dumb to understand what was going on.
I
The
highly
scared
disagree.
Little girl in the theater
No.
didn't understand it.
That movie was so dumb. That movie was,
They
and
were
I was really upset.
conjoined twins.
Okay,
and
regardless.
They couldn't remove the one twin because the brains were in the same
So
area.
they
which would have killed
stuffed
them.
the other twin inside of her skull and just stapled it back up.
They didn't stuff the twin inside her.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. They cut off what they could and kept the rest. Which was just the brain area, which was in there. And when she hit her head, it awokened it. And it was two brains controlling the same body, hers and her twin.
It was stupid.
And that's not, you know what? No, you're stupid. I'm done. You're stupid.
It was a
That
dumb
was
movie.
that was one of the most creative movies to come out in a long time.
I disagree, and I was
I
really
watched that movie
disappointed about it
wondering
because
what
it was.
going on.
I was really, really, really disappointed with it because it's the same directors. I'm pretty sure it's directors, maybe
It's
producers
James
as the Conjurings,
Yeah.
and I really liked the Conjurings.
You are actually the first person I've talked to that didn't like *Malignant*.
You're crazy.
I thought
That
no, a lot of
movie
people love
sucked.
that movie.
Oh, it's so
And
bad.
I'm not going to take away that it's not stupid in some ways. I will grant you that somewhat of the story, it's far fetched. But what horror genre movie isn't?
No, I get that, but like,
But
I felt like they
watched the
tried to be
movie,
creative and it didn't work. That's
and
how
I think
feel.
it did, because first I'm thinking this is a ghost in her head, and then I think all of a sudden that the cop's chasing it down. Wait, the cop's chasing a real thing. So my head is rolling now. I'm like, well, is this a demon? Is this not? Is this in her head? Is she psycho? Is it something she's seeing? No, because the cop's chasing her down on foot. It didn't make sense to the point that I'm like, I want to know what's going on. And I thought it was a good twist because it was pointed out through the entire thing very well what it was. Even though for many people, if you weren't Elena, didn't see it coming.
The shade.
It was
Well,
a bad
no, I mean,
movie.
it's a good movie.
It was funny. Like I genuinely found it funny.
Okay, so Bill, did you see *Malignant*?
I don't think so. I can't. What's the premise of the show? I'll tell you if I saw it.
Don't let Elena tell you.
I'll let Keith tell you. Apparently, I did a bad job.
Went into a brain.
This lady is committing crimes, but it's not her. It's just the dude living in the back of her skull. And when her twin, this is the funniest part, Nikki.
Oh,
when her
God.
twin's controlling her body, she walks backwards.
Oh, you know what I?
It's like she has eyes in the back of her head. Like that's
He's
what's
facing
happening.
the other way. Okay, he
It's
has
just
to.
so funny.
It's the back of her head.
It's so stupid.
That's how he saw. He threw the hair over her face, and he went that way.
The twin was a he?
It was. It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a name. It
I
was like
did not see
Lucas
that
or
one.
something.
You got to watch it, Bill. It's a fun movie. It's really, don't listen to these women.
It
Sorry,
was-
don't listen to that woman. Nikki's fine. Nikki has no clue.
Well, seeing how you guys are going back and forth on it, I'm going to have to watch it tonight just so I can see.
I know,
So.
you got me kind of intrigued so I can see whose side I'm on. But
I
if it's
promise you it's
stupid,
dumb.
I'm
I promise you it's dumb.
Everything you expected isn't, which makes it good. Speaking of everything you expected to have, has anybody seen the movie I See You?
I see.
Yeah.
You.
Wait, maybe.
It's
Let me look up
like
the
a year
poster.
or two old, but it's been resurging lately on Netflix, and that was I thought a fantastic movie. That
It's
flipped
very good.
Everything you thought you were watching on its head.
I did see that movie. That was good. I liked that one.
Keith, you know what I saw the other night on Svengoolie? So I watched Svengoolie on Saturday night if there's nothing else on. At least I listened to it while I'm doing something. But the original trilogy of terror was on Svengoolie with Karen Black.
I know what you're talking about.
Now, see, I know they've already redid it once. I wasn't a big fan of it. But if they could do something with that and redo that type of thing too, that would be cool as hell.
I think that there are certain movies that definitely need to be redone to be brought into a modern world, because they're casualties of the time they were made. You know, they may have been really even The Exorcist. I'm going to be honest with you, the original Exorcist we were talking about earlier. It's a classic and it was great, but it is casualty of the time it was made, because if The Exorcist were released now in the exact same form and never existed, most people would probably like, this is a dumb movie.
Oh yeah, but
Because
for the
of everything that's
time.
come out.
Yeah,
So
I mean, well, you think about it. So in that time period, what was the biggest movie that came out, Keith?
We're talking
Jaws.
80s?
It was Jaws. It was Jaws.
Oh.
And everyone that went and watched Jaws was scared shitless. I mean, I went with a bunch of guys when the head floated out at the bottom of the boat. When one buddy kneed himself in the face because he had his legs up here, busted his lip, everything. The lady behind us threw popcorn and pop all over us. But if you watch that now, the kids that watch that now, you try to tell them, it's like, oh, it's not a big deal.
No, it's just, the thing is with Jaws, you see that kind of violence on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, now,
You know,
yeah.
and you see it real.
Yeah, with
so-
Shark Week? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
While we're
Jaws-
talking about movies, I do want to talk about the Barbie movie when we're done with Jaws.
The Barbie movie. I have not seen it. I don't
Let's-
want
I
to.
wanna put you down. Well, I will. Go ahead.
Have you seen it, Keith?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Did you like it?
No. I
So-
thought it was actually kind of cool. It poked fun at itself. I thought it was funny where it should be funny. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I don't think it was 100% my thing, but I could
Which is
definitely
fair.
see the humor in it, and I enjoyed some aspects of it very much so.
Like the parts
Okay.
of it that were funny for everyone, which I
Yeah.
really
What is-
liked.
What is the Barbie movie? What is it rated?
I think it's
I think it's
PG-13.
PG-13.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
Margot Robbie does not get naked in the movie.
Correct.
That's why you have not seen it.
That's exactly right. I'll just go back and watch Wall Street and I'll be fine. So,
Well, I do want to say about the Barbie movie. So, I did feel like for a movie about Barbie, they talked a whole lot about Ken.
They did, but I mean, for a little too preachy, but it was a movie that I didn't mind the preachy.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it really was preachy as the women are, oh, they're treated so terrible. Oh, every man's bringing you down to that point. But they did it right,
They did it correctly.
you know? So I
No,
got
I do agree with that.
And I fell asleep. I actually missed about 20 minutes of the movie in the middle. I fell asleep through it, and I woke up and continued watching. I just didn't rewind. I was really tired that night, and I was hoping to put me to sleep. But it turned out I was liking what I was watching.
so Barbie was in the movie and Ken was in the movie. Was Skipper in the movie?
No, it was just Barbie was in it, and Barbie was in it. And then there was Ken, and Ken.
And then Alan.
And then Alan.
Barbie.
Alan was in it too.
Look,
Was
I
there
loved
any-
the cast for the movie. They casted that movie perfectly.
I did
Really?
not think I was going to
I
like
have heard
Ken's
that.
character. Margot Robbie, I figured could pull it off. I did not think I was going to like Ken by what's his freaking
Ryan
name?
Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling.
He
And
did
I
a
liked it.
great job,
He
though.
really did.
I just
And,
sent Brandon a TikTok the other day because like we've been like decorating the house and everything. And
Drew.
I sent him this TikTok of this lady saying,
It's a comment for you, Bill. Barbie needs
That's
more
right.
boobs.
Well, that was it. That was the
that's
thing I was
not
just
the
about to
point of
ask.
the movie.
Did they make reference to them not having any genitalia
They
in the movie?
did.
Oh, yes. No, like I said, they handled it actually perfectly to where it was an entertaining film.
Yeah. And at the
They
very
did a
end
good
of the
job.
movie, like Margot Robbie Barbie, because all the other women are also different Barbies, but Margot
Yeah.
Robbie Barbie decided she wanted to not be Barbie anymore. She wanted to be a human. So she
Wait,
becomes
there's
a
a
human.
whole bunch of Barbies in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, every Barbie
They
you can
live
think
in
of is in
Barbie
that movie.
land.
Including the original
Barbie
Barbie. That's not
houses
Margot
and drive
Robbie.
Barbie
Yeah, no.
But
No.
at the very
Trust
end,
me,
she
if
becomes a
it's-
human, and her new human friends are like getting her all ready for her first day as a human, and she goes to the gynecologist.
Oh, so she's Pinocchio Barbie.
She's just Barbie. She's
She's
original
Pinocchio
Barbie.
Barbie. She's turning into a human. That's Pinocchio Barbie.
I
Oh,
mean,
get
I
what you're
guess.
saying. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. See, you were thinking he meant
the
something dirty.
gynecologist as their first human interaction.
It's her first human experience because now she has genitals.
Yeah. In a sense, I mean, it was kind of like the Brady Bunch movie in a lot of ways. It was taking something in its original format where it was and shoving it in the middle of today's world.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with that in the or Pleasantville, if you've ever seen that movie.
Now,
Taking
see,
some
with
modern aspects.
with the last comment that Elena made, now I'm going to have to go on Pornhub and see if they did a parody movie of the Barbie movie now.
Oh, we were
Okay,
just
you
having a
let
fun
us
time.
know.
You don't have
us
to let me know. You can let Keith know. I don't need to know. I'm good.
'Cause- no, they're out there. I'm sure of it at that
Oh,
point.
I'm sure there are. I don't need to know about it though. I'm good.
Okay, you gotta let Drew know. You gotta let Drew know because Drew might follow
All right.
you on there. I'm just saying. He might. But yeah, no, it wasn't bad for what they did. I thought Barbie was good, and now we're done with Barbie talk.
Fine.
No, I actually want to watch it again to give it a fair shot because I did fall asleep in the middle of it. I just haven't brought myself to do it.
But
'Cause I
they
think
did
I-
do a perfect job.
I won't say perfect, but I will say they did a great job.
Great job.
I don't really necessarily
Thank
like
you.
the aspect of she's a real woman now.
But the rest of the Barbies aren't. It's just her.
I know. Why is she so special?
How
Barbies
did
aren't
she
special.
become a woman? What made that happen? She drink a potion?
There
or
you go,
something?
Bill. Drew says it's out there and he can confirm it.
Perfect. Thank you, Drew.
There you go. I appreciate that.
Drew, send Bill a link to it. It'll save him some time.
Yeah, he'll appreciate it.
Well, definitely. Oh my God, Bill! You
And we're right into the sex show. Boom.
No, okay, you got to say it. There's your one. All right.
Everybody take a drink.
I don't have alcohol today.
I think Bill and I are the only ones drinking.
Water.
I'll be back. I'll be drinking on the next show for sure because I'm ready to get start to get fucked up at this.
I'm on too many medications. So I was drink alcohol. I can't drink alcohol right now.
Smoke some
Medications
weed
are
or
much
something.
More fun with alcohol.
I know, but
They might not help get you better, but they make being sick a hell of a lot more fun.
no. I
That's right.
I'm on like 8 or 9 different things. I'm afraid to
Can you bring me one of these?
mix some alcohol in there.
I got about, I'm glad you said that I have to take my pills. I've got about 1, 2, 3 yellow ones, a green one, an orange one, a white one,
You are
and
old,
another
Phil.
white one.
What a cocktail.
You are just.
I have a
old,
purple
Bill.
one, a couple
Oh my
white
God.
ones, a blue and white one.
I do not
Sometimes
want
I
to be your
take
ages.
ibuprofen.
I'm taking I think it's called bupropion to help me
Bupropion.
quit smoking. Wednesday is my quit date, so I will not have
I had a
cig.
feeling you put a post up. I thought that might be what you were talking about.
Yeah,
Kid's supposed to set a quit date and stop, take it every day
Yeah.
and stop it.
yeah. So
Well, good luck to you on that one because I wish I wasn't a smoker. Believe me.
my lungs are just really crappy, and I mean, I'm all my kids have, so I need to not
My
be
lungs
so
and my heart are in
selfish.
a race. We'll see who wins. One's
Now,
gonna finish last.
should they do a new Scooby-Doo Halloween special?
They still do.
I
There's
mean,
one
Yeah,
just came
that's-
out, I believe.
I haven't seen it yet.
I think there was a new one that just came out. the Scooby Doo Halloween one, because they do it. I think like every year. I think.
And I think because of the fact that I made comment to this earlier when the woman up there in the right hand top corner was sending me weird stuff through Messenger. Um,
I was
Charlie
just saying hi. We're Facebook friends now. You're
Charlie
welcome.
Charlie Brown. See, they don't show Charlie Brown on TV anymore.
Yeah,
So
that
I
pisses
think
me off.
I think someone should take
Oh,
that
I know
over
TV.
and redo Charlie Brown.
No, we don't need it
Never.
redone. I think that would really just fuck it up. I want the
The
original.
Yeah,
I
the
need
only
to
thing I
see
got-
Charlie Brown say, "I got to rock." Like I need to see that every year, or
Yeah.
else I might explode. I don't
The
know.
only thing that I
Until
have,
you
and I got
said
it
it
on
like that.
VHS.
I have a
I've got
home
it on
video of it
VHS,
now.
and I've got the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, and I watch it every year, once a week in November, because Snoopy fighting with the fucking lawn chair has got to be the greatest thing in the world.
They're classic.
Now
You gotta bring.
you were talking about smoking a joint, all right? I get a buzz on alcohol and sit there and watch that, and I will laugh my ass off, and people can hear me 2 houses down everywhere.
I'll
I
be
love
back
it.
momentarily. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Okay, that was weird.
He's gonna go look for alcohol.
I'm sure he already did that. I'm sure he already tried.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just so pissed off they don't have any of the Charlie Brown stuff on TV anymore. And like I said, that was something I always watched, and I've watched it since I was a little kid all the way through adulthood, and then all of a sudden they take it off.
Oh,
Like,
I
what the
still
fuck?
watch it like with my parents every single year. Like we watch the Thanksgiving one every single year on Thanksgiving. I put on the Halloween one every single fucking year because like I need it. I need to see it every year
Mhm.
to be a happy little person.
Elena, just so you know, and if Gabe watches this, the snake and the black dragon and the big toad are all in California now.
Oh, they all
What?
found homes.
I got a hold of Jay's Prehistoric in California. They got their own thing on YouTube. And first, the situation was, well, yeah, all
Nikki,
you have to
hold
do
on,
is
really quick. Nikki, do you know all of what we're talking about?
I have no idea.
So our last show, after we went off air, Bill says to Keith, Gabe, and I, "Hey, is anyone in need of a new pet? I have a what was it? An 8-foot long black
9-foot long black dragon.
in my basement right now." And Gabe and I are both like, "What?"
What?
They wanted me to pick him up and put him on camera. I said, well, his claws are longer than my finger, so no.
And this thing was just like in his basement hanging out.
What was it? Like a monitor lizard or something?
It's a black monitor. They call them black dragons. It's a
I had a
next thing
friend-
to a it's a next thing to a Komodo dragon.
Okay, I had a friend who had a monitor lizard, and his house got raided. And
no.
when they raided it, they the lizard's cage got opened, but they didn't close it. So when I had gotten there, I went into the bathroom to go use the bathroom. That fucking lizard was hiding behind the toilet, and I had no idea. And so
Oh
he
my
started
gosh.
eating. As I am sitting there taking a piss, I almost shit myself. Thank goodness I was sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
This guy is like 6 foot long, and he's just like hissing at me.
I would have
Oh.
died. I would have simply died.
What
Well-
conversation did I come back to with 6 foot
So-
long things?
Well, we were talking about the after show last time on the last show, and I just told Elena, and I said, and if Gabe watches this, that they all went to California. I sent them all to California.
All of
Nikki,
the
just so,
reptiles have found a home.
Nikki, just so you know, if you walked in on Oscar as Elena was screaming last week or the last time we were on the show, he would have ate you.
So wait, so you had an 8-foot lizard in your basement. What about these other two creatures?
He was 9 feet long, and then I had a 10.5 foot long albino Burmese python,
Ew.
and then I had an African toad that was about this big.
Where did you acquire these things? And why?
They're my pets.
They're your pets. What do you
I-
do? You take the python for a walk?
Why do you keep?
No, actually, I hung him around my neck and if you walked up on me too fast, Alf would just go at you.
Stop it.
Oh, I'm not kidding.
I have dogs.
How you doing,
Yeah,
Elena?
I'm
I
a
got
dog
dogs.
person.
I got dogs.
Dogs,
I have
but
little Franklin. He's great. He
I'm
was
just-
underneath me. He left. I don't know where he went.
So back
Don't
to
fathom the idea of a snake wrapped around my neck. No, thank you.
our
As long
final
as they're fed, you're
topics.
fine. But yes, let's go back to the Halloween stuff.
You know, another movie I was thinking, while it's not like gore, although I
Anybody
don't
watching right now, we're talking about movies that should be remade, come back, and some should just stop. If you got any suggestions, put it in the comments. Go ahead, Nikki.
what was the one with Kiefer Sutherland?
Mirrors,
Like, huh?
Flatliners,
No. Oh, but that was a good one.
Lost Boys.
No.
Okay, keep going then.
Devil's Advocate, maybe with
That was Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's who it was. Yes.
Great,
That might-
great fucking film.
Yes.
And that's when I'm actually glad they left alone.
yes. But do you think they could like
Make it worse, yeah. They'd make it worse.
Yeah,
There's some
afraid
stuff
they
you just
would.
don't touch.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes I fear that Devil's Advocate would be made worse, but I think Devil's Advocate was the kind of movie that, again, is a product of its time. It worked then,
Yeah.
and it worked well, and it was strong. I don't think it would work now without taking away what made it work. You can't have a film like that now and expand on the special effects and
Yeah.
the gore and stuff, because what made that movie good was the lack thereof. It was
Yeah.
just brief little bits, and I think some movies could use an update, but they would try too hard to update them. Like Devil's Advocate could definitely be remade again. I don't think anybody can pull off the role like Al Pacino, and I don't care about Keanu Reeves. I didn't think he was great. Charlize Theron was really good in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that, Bill.
Hell yeah. That has got to be one of the sexiest women in the world. I don't care how old she is now.
She
No,
really is
she's a
beautiful.
beautiful woman.
Yeah.
She is a beautiful woman. In that film, she reminded me of Tiffany Amber Thiessen, though, in that movie, especially in the beginning of it and stuff. She looked just
Okay, we're not going to get saved by the bell on this, so let's just go ahead.
Shut up. Shut up, Bill.
Let's just move along.
Now, another one I was
Found a
thinking
woman
of,
Bill doesn't like.
another one I was thinking of, if they could do a twist to it, was The Boys from Brazil.
What?
I don't think I know that one. I've heard of it.
Okay.
I don't think I know it like watching it.
All right, so it's an older movie, and Gregory Peck's in it. And Keith, you need to watch it because it's kind of twisted. It has to do with the Nazis trying to clone everybody.
Fair.
But the best part of it is at the end, one of the little boys that's a clone. It's a little bit of a spoiler here, but he's a clone. He has guard dogs. And Gregory Peck comes to get him to take him back to make more clones, and he turns the Doberman Pinschers loose on this guy, and they shred him.
I just realized my nails have been on screen this whole time.
I like them. I meant to say something. I like blue.
I said something as soon as we started. You weren't here
Yeah,
yet, though.
I just wasn't even thinking about it. I know you said something. I wasn't even thinking about it until I just looked and said, what's with that? Oh, yeah, I still got nail polish on.
It looks
From last
great.
night's Halloween. No, it worked out.
I
It was
feel
good
like I'm
stuff.
sitting here like all slant, like hardly any eyeballs open. I'm so
Nikki, I
Hi.
do think that the bright colored hair makes your eyes look so blue.
Oh, yeah. They definitely do.
yeah.
See, and I keep looking at her, and I see that her bun up there, and I thought it was a red light bulb back there.
It's that bright.
Has anybody
It is.
Has anybody watched the new series Fall of the House of Usher?
No.
I watched 2 of it.
2 of it?
Two of
Yeah.
it.
That's
don't-
it.
You
Hey,
gave up
I got a
on it.
lot of moonshine in me right now. Leave me alone.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. I swear. I'm on my 4th
Okay.
beer, so
If you're
I'm no
out
better
there-
than you are.
I don't know what Bill says, but if you're out there and you're a fan of Edgar Allan Poe and his stories at all, it was fantastically done for a modern take on these stories. But it is one designed, if you do not know Edgar Allan Poe, you're not going to understand well over half of that show. And what
You can watch some of the old stuff, and actually that Vincent Price was in, The Raven,
Raven
Pit and
was
the Pendulum, and stuff like that. And you
fantastic,
watch, gives you an idea of what's going on. So
Yeah, it'll help you, but there's so many like character names and driven. It's straight out of Poe's poetry. And it's just a fantastic film. And I have not seen The Haunting of Hill House, which I heard was fantastic. It's by the same guys who did this one. and I want to go.
Brandon
and watch
watched
it now.
that and he loved it.
I want to go
Wait.
back and watch it now.
The Haunting of Hill House, or is that
The series, yeah.
the
Yeah,
house?
it's a series.
So it's a series. Oh, I was thought you were talking like the House
Not
on
House
Haunted
on
Hill.
Haunted Hill. Not House on Haunted Hill.
Because I love that when they
It's also
remade
a
that
great
shit.
They did a
Hell
great
yeah!
job. During that period, remakes were doing really good. Like they would come out with some good because they were updating properly. They
Yeah.
weren't losing the essences of the film.
Ooh, I just thought of one. Silence of the Lambs.
I don't think it should go. It could probably be remade, but nobody could ever, in my opinion, take the place of Anthony Hopkins.
No, but I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be as menacing now. He's
No.
like just watching him in some of the like Westworld and stuff like that. He's definitely not.
It
the
was
same.
it was already thought up at the point in time when what was the follow ups they did? Ralph.
Ray
what's his
Fiennes.
name?
Ray Fiennes.
Yeah. So they thought before they even did what was that Red Dragon, right?
Red Dragon I loved, which was actually
I did too. But they were thinking
Manhunter.
about him taking over Hopkins' spot whenever they redid something or redo a thing, and then they went with the other direction with the Red Dragon.
which was actually a remake of Manhunter, which was before Silence
Yes.
of the Lambs.
Yes.
Which so I mean Red Dragon I loved. I thought Red Dragon was fantastic. I didn't care for Hannibal that much. Some good
Yeah, I didn't
scenes in
like
it.
Hannibal.
But yeah, I liked Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon were fantastic. I would like to see the franchise at least brought back. I think some things I want to see Stephen King adaptations done right. That's one thing I really want to see because Stephen King has some great works out there, but
I
nobody
think
can
he has
seem to
something
get it
new
right.
coming out. Doesn't he have something new coming out?
He just had a new book come out. I know that.
No, it's like a movie. I just saw it advertised. It's like I don't know. I want to say it was like maybe dragons or dinosaur. It was like something
Are they
of
doing
that.
like the Dark Tower series or the Gunslinger stuff?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I swear I just saw it not too long ago.
Oh yeah, and speaking of sequels, Pet Sematary 2, that came out.
Oh,
And,
that would be but
no.
they did a Pet Cemetery too, and I didn't care for it as much as
No, I wasn't going to say anything more about that because it was awful.
yeah.
I just
That-
thought of another creepy movie while we're on this subject still. Has anyone seen The Green Inferno?
Yes.
No.
That movie's fucked up. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. And, like, it seems pretty low budget, right? Like, I know nothing, like, actually about the movie. Like, I've seen it a few times, but it seems pretty low budget. And there's, like, a bunch of actors that you've never seen before in it.
It's kind
Except
of a
for the kid from Spy Kids is in it.
Yeah.
That low budget.
Trying to remember his name.
Daryl
he's not a kid
Sabara.
anymore, yeah. It's kind of
Now
a
he's married to
throwback
Meghan
like,
Trainor, but
70s cannibal Holocaust films and stuff like that in a way. Kind of throwback to that stuff. And it's brutal. It's Eli Roth.
it's just gore and it's gross and it's cannibals and
Ew.
Yeah, well, that's like whenever I was young, we used to watch on Halloween or Devil's Night or whatever. We would watch Faces of Death after the bar.
Yes, I meant to bring that one up. Yes, that one. That.
You know,
But there was many Faces of Death, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was Face of Death, and then they had other spin-offs of Face of Death. Or copycats of it.
I'll never forget. Oh my God, my stepdad put it. What in the hell are you showing a 10-year-old Faces of Death for? But, anyways, the one with the monkey, and he's like he's on a table and he's like spinning around, and they're cracking him in the head with it or with a hammer until he like, dies, and then they like take his skull off and start eating his brains. Do you
I
know
haven't
what?
seen that
I'm
one.
hungry.
Oh my God. Oh my God, it was
Face of
brutal.
Death was supposed to be all real death. It wasn't. It's turned out
it wasn't. No, that's the thing. I mean, that's why we watched it, because I mean, when I first watched it, or when I first got to see it and stuff like that, and they said that it was all completely real. What was it? I'm going to take a guess and say it was the third one. You could tell what was real and what wasn't real, and what they were
and there was
prompting
real
up and
stuff
stuff
in it. But most of the close-up graphic stuff or stuff that wasn't part of natural society for the area. I mean, like beating a monkey and eating its brains it's common in cultures. Like it's something.
Yeah.
So it's like documentary footage they use, but they're showing it to you.
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff was just fake.
It
But
was
it
so
came out
creepy
as
though
being
because they
real.
were like laughing. There was like probably 10 people around a table all doing it, and they were
Right,
like,
but they don't actually do that. But they do, like if you go to
Yeah.
the Arabic countries over there,
yeah,
they have for many years thought that of a dessert delicacy. You can go back and watch. I don't know which one, but one of the Raiders
Yeah,
movies.
Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom.
Is it in Temple of Doom? Yeah.
Where
So
they cut
Temple of
open the
Doom.
brains, heads, and
Oh yeah,
people's
Kate
heads.
Capshaw. Yeah. So
Yep.
they're sitting there and they open it up, and that's what they do. They just steam the heads for a little while and heat up the brains, and they eat them just like that.
Yeah.
ew.
Which, I mean, it sounds gross, but if you think about the animals we eat, it's probably not much more gross to them. It's sad because we think of them as cute creatures, really. But
Yeah.
technically, from other cultures, cows can be cute creatures. You know,
I mean, the little mini
Yes.
ones are really cute. A
pigs.
miniature
I
cow.
think pigs can be cute creatures. I think pigs
Yes,
are
I
adorable.
want a mini pig. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get some mini pigs and some mini cows and some mini horses at my mini farm.
You better get some many millions of dollars because buying that mini shit costs a ton. They got those mini long haired cows right now, and we were
They're
checking it out. And
adorable.
They
my
are
daughter
so cute.
my daughter sat there and said, "Dad, let's get one of these." I said, "Okay, let me show you something." So we go through it, and there is a guy here in the United States that raises them over in Montana. And I said, "Okay," I said, "Look here." And she goes, "What does that say?" I said, "That says $42,000."
Holy shit.
For what?
He has,
Yeah.
he has so they're pedigree.
Oh,
So they sell pedigree. It's just like right here in Michigan, there's a lady that sells Netherland dwarf rabbits. Now, I used to raise rabbits. I never paid more than $5 per rabbit. This lady is selling Netherland dwarf rabbits for $230 a piece
wow.
Wow.
for a little rabbit that lives for 3 years.
Wow.
You get them to produce, you make a lot more money.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
That's the whole point of it. Because, I mean, they're just the same old animals, if you ask me. So I never
Now,
understood it, but they sell.
Should they redo the Amityville Horror again or again or again?
No.
Okay,
Probably not.
Ryan Reynolds' take wasn't bad.
That's
It
because
just
Ryan
lacked-
Reynolds is amazing.
I like
That movie, I didn't think he was. I actually like Ryan Reynolds a lot, but in that movie, I didn't.
Everybody
necessarily
likes
think he
Ryan
was.
Reynolds.
It depends. That's how you find out if people are gay. Do you like Ryan Reynolds or not?
No, that's the thing. All straight men love Ryan Reynolds.
That's how you know.
No. All straight men
will
like
say yes.
all straight men like Ryan Reynolds because of the women that he has dated.
No, I disagree. Like I could
No.
get Brandon down here right now, and he will tell you, he'll say that he's straight, and then also follow that up with, well, if Ryan Reynolds knocked on the door ready to go, sorry, babe. Like that's a thing amongst straight men. They're all obsessed with Ryan Reynolds.
No, that was the thing of you're gay. That's the question. Straight men will always say yes.
Oh, that's fair. Gay men are like, he's okay.
Yeah, you know. Or in the closet, they'll be like, no. You're fucking gay, dude.
Yeah.
You're so gay.
So, Keith.
Amityville, they keep making the new ones. They're constantly making new ones. I haven't really liked any of them. Since the original. And the original was okay for what it was. It was definitely made during that Exorcist type of film era. Ryan Reynolds was a good take on it, but I think it went too actiony and it forgot the horror. I don't think it was, and I don't like when they shift like that. So I think it could stand to be a remade. I think there's something they could do with the remake. They kind of did with the Conjuring series. Because they revisited Amityville before with Ed and Lorraine Warren. It's being investigated from the initial one.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of did that, but I think it could stand to be its own.
I did love the Conjuring movies. Those were good.
So, Keith, you had recently on trivia, you told me, hey, Bill, you need to show up because our trivia is going to be about Universal.
Movies.
Yes. So, these young ladies probably haven't seen all that stuff, but you think back about that stuff right there. Now, it wasn't great filmed or anything like that, but it's still the best of the best, everything that you see. And with me, I remember every star in the damn movie because they were in all the other movies. It's just like Hammer House of Horror. It's always Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the old Universal movies, anytime they try to redo that, it's different. but it's not that, you know.
Yeah, they don't follow it. I love the originals, but the originals will always be the originals, and they've got that iconic status of being untouchable. Like you cannot remake it the way it was. Again, product of its time too, because the way it was isn't going to scare people now
Hmm.
without adding all these elements. But you kind of lose the movie within that by adding it. Love at First Bite. That's where it was. That was the best Dracula remake. Love at First Bite. Awesome.
I remember my grandpa when we were kids, and my grandma they would do like these lingerie parties and stuff, whatever, similar to like Tupperware, but yeah, they would do lingerie parties.
Okay.
Good for them.
I know, right?
More
And,
power to them.
and when they would do it, my grandpa would like be in charge of watching us kids. I think I was probably 7 or 8, maybe, and he would take us to the movies to watch. They had subtitles, and I remember he took us to a black and white Dracula movie. I only remember bits and pieces because I was young.
It was
But
probably the original.
you think so?
Yeah, probably. There wasn't.
Why?
I mean,
Why would they have subtitles though?
I don't know.
well, first of all, the original Dracula was filmed simultaneously in Spanish and English.
Really?
Yeah, during the day they shot the English version, and during the night they shot the Spanish version of the film.
Really?
Yep, at the same time. I don't know what he took you to see or why it was subtitled or anything like
I
that.
don't know.
But it
I
could have
just
been.
always I remember subtitles and
Well, a lot of
it's
it back
like
then for that
laughing.
they weren't even going to have Bela Lugosi do it because of his accent. But his accent was what they ended up wanting and used all the damn time in the movie for him to be the Count.
And that made the character.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So we got a lot to look forward to. I do. So we touched on it. Final Destination definitely. That's coming soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to Gremlins. I'm kind of excited to see.
I didn't
what
like
they
the
do with
second one, but I know it's hugely popular and people loved it. I wasn't a fan of the second Gremlins.
I didn't like
love
the
first
second one either. I
but
can
huge
agree.
fan of the first one. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an all-time classic.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, the Gremlins in the new movie that's coming out are going to look like 6 or 8 or 9 feet long black dragons. So there you go.
Stop it.
You huffed on some paint chips.
Keith,
Uh,
Keith, what we have to do is you're going to find out where Elena lives, and I'm going to get her a big black monitor lizard. We'll deliver it to her front door.
I
know
live
where
like
she lives.
3 hours from you guys.
Right.
Delivery, Amazon. You'll get it the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I was telling you. So they wanted me to ship the animals out there. Okay, first of all, the crate for Oscar would have cost me $1,200,
I
and
believe
then
it. He's 9 feet long.
and the flight would have been about like $3,000. Besides the
How
fact of him,
how did you get him there?
actually, they contacted someone who was in Pennsylvania who drove over here in a big cube truck with a heater in the back, and they put them all in there.
Huh.
Oh, perfect.
Just put them in your trunk and drive down.
Yeah.
Oscar would have ate through the seat and said, "Okay, where's my dessert at now?"
Yeah.
Yeah, where are we
where's
going?
my
Awesome.
What's next?
I kind of miss those monster movies like that. We need stuff like that to come back. Stuff from like
Yeah,
those
like
classics,
Swamp
like
Thing and
Swamp
like the
Thing, Alligator. Stuff that was B movie then, but really could stand a reboot. The Blob needs a remake, big time.
Oh, yeah.
Everything right now is Kevin Dillon and the Blob sucked. Everything right now is on Amazon Prime. All the old movies, you can watch them all. Swamp Thing's on there. Where the Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein, the original, The Mummy.
They're redoing the Toxic Avenger. I know that.
Oh, that used to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one.
Holy shit!
That one could be good. But I like some of those old monster movies. There was just the random one where you had a killer animal or something. Like I said, Alligator was one. There was a few other ones. Or remake the stuff. The Blob needs it because I actually did like the 88 Blob. Not as much as the original, but effect-wise, I think they did a good job for the time. It looked fantastic.
Why did you
But
like
they
it?
went-
Why did you like it?
I thought it added a lot to the original. The first one was very campy. And it was meant to be campy, don't get me wrong.
That's
And
been
this
your
one
word of the
definitely-
night.
Well,
We're
but
talking
like I
horror
said,
movies, campy
you,
I
movies.
still,
know.
you still have to go with. So with the first one, who was the main dude?
Who was
It was Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, thank you.
You can never beat it.
Yeah.
But the second one, when they remade it, who was the main woman?
Kevin. Oh, the woman. Oh God, I haven't seen it in a while. I can't remember who it was.
It's your girl from Saw.
It wasn't Shawnee Smith.
It was.
1988. It was Shawnee Smith. I didn't
I
realize.
think it was. Wait, no. Wait, was it?
I don't
Duh.
think so. I mean, it might be, but I mean, I do like Shawnee. I don't like her in the new Saw. That's the one thing about Saw X, by the way. We didn't even touch on it.
Mhm.
That is an advertisement for de-aging to be used. Because Shawnee Smith looked creepy trying to dress and look like a 20-year-old.
Right. Because the whole thing was the movie. So Saw X was supposed to, like, it took place
Yeah, it was
between
Shawnee,
the
you're
first and second one, right?
right. Yeah, or second and third, I think it was. Maybe
I
it's
thought it was the first and second. Regardless,
Yeah, but
it
it's
could have been
early
either
on.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did look weird.
It did, because that they should have de-aged her because she was.
Because for Kramer, it was fine. He's always looked old and decrepit. It was fine.
Yeah, and if you compare side by side, be like, yeah, he looks older this one, that one. Okay, I can see the difference.
No, but
However,
like the majority of it was fine.
Kramer was not playing a 20-year-old.
Right. That's
Right.
the difference.
So, what was your favorite Saw movie? Which one?
For me personally, I mean, I love the second one probably, honestly.
I was gonna say the same thing. The second one's great.
I really like the second one. I love the entire original trilogy, so it's hard for me to pick them apart. I think the second
I
one
like
is my
number
favorite
3.
because I think the second one had the best twist that came close to the original and I didn't see coming. Was
Yeah.
the kid being in the safe the whole time, that this was, at that time, it wasn't common, that this was all pre-recorded footage and all that.
Right. Yeah, that twist was
I
fun.
thought it was great.
Yeah.
I love the entire original trilogy. As far as the new ones made, everybody hates Saw 7. I liked Saw 7, actually. I thought that was
I
a
didn't
good
have an
one.
issue with it either. I haven't had an issue with any of them.
I
though.
just had an issue with the 3D because the way it made the blood and everything look, it was all pink. The coloring was wrong.
Well, yeah,
like, viewing
that's
it-
fair.
But I thought the movie was fine. And I thought it was good closure to it. But I was pissed off in the new Saw that we didn't get Dr. Gordon. We should have had Dr. Gordon somewhere in there
I agree. That would have been good.
to be referencing. I thought he was going to appear. But we still had Hoffman. Hoffman is actually probably my favorite villain of the Saw franchise, though. I like Hoffman. I think he was a great character to add.
Yeah, because he's just like genuinely bad.
Yeah. And
Like
you
that's
needed that.
why he's interesting.
Yeah.
Because like obviously Kramer's bad and obviously Amanda's bad, but like they're like Amanda's worse than Kramer even, but like Kramer's whole thing is like, but I'm not doing it to them. Like they
Yeah,
made their
they're
bed,
doing
now
it
they're
to
gonna lie in
themselves.
it.
He's one of the few villains like that has a moral compass of why he's doing it.
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm doing it to teach them a lesson so they can. I love him because he genuinely believes what he's doing is helping people,
exactly.
and I think
And
that's
it's
a
fucked
great
up and
aspect.
twisted, but
And
it's
you made
really
us-
interesting to watch.
He literally, I'll give Saw X credit for that. You made me care about this fucking psycho so much.
Oh yeah.
Like I wanted the revenge plot on him. Like you did a good job on that. You took Kramer, who's all fucked up, and you made me care about this guy.
yeah.
And actually understand. You did make me feel more for why he does what he does. A little bit, but he's
Have you
still fucked
seen
up.
like the documentaries that they've made specifically about the second one? The one I watched, they like dived into the pit of syringes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so interesting to watch. It took them like days to switch out all of those needles with rubber ones.
I honestly think I did see that. I think I saw. 'Cause I
It
saw
was
them
so
doing that.
interesting to watch.
That scene is another reason why 2 is my favorite. Because honestly, that's one of
That
the
scene was
best
phenomenal, and she
trap,
did such a good job.
Yeah,
Like the acting in it was so good.
yeah. So 2 definitely stands as probably my favorite.
2
the
is
first one
great.
because of the twist, but like I said, I don't think the movie was fantastic. It was good. I rewatched it, but the twist made it. But the second one was a good movie all around, plus
Yeah.
a great twist.
I want to ask everyone, what was your favorite Saw trap of all time? Like, what was the one trap where you were just like, damn, that would really fucking suck?
I kind of want to say that Saw X really has to do with it, with her sawing off her own leg, because the sound editing and
Oh,
visual
God.
aspect of that
Oh, it
movie,
was phenomenal.
that hurt
It-
watching.
Oh, it
Right.
did.
And
Yeah.
I
and
looked
that
over,
went back
and
to
like Brandon doesn't love gore. He likes scary movies, but he doesn't love the gore aspect of it. And I looked over at him, and he was just like, like
Out
it
there.
got him.
Out there watching, what's your favorite Saw trap of all time?
and I
I
saw
feel like that's a
that,
good question.
That's
and
a
it
really
reminded
good
me of when the guy who played Robin Hood was in there.
Oh, Gary
God.
Hughes.
Yes,
Gary Hughes from Men in Tights.
yes,
Yeah, that's
that's what
Dr.
I was
Gordon.
thinking. That's when I was thinking about. Like I said, whenever doing that, I was like,
Like
but
I agree with you that like the one from this last one where she saws off her own leg, that was great. But I will say the two traps that keep me up at night are I think it's in 5, I could be mistaken, where there's a woman and a man and they're both in separate cages. Whoever like gets rid of the most flesh wins, and she cuts her
Oh,
own
yeah,
arm off with the
yeah.
butcher knife. That one, like, I think about all the time. And then in the first one, it was like they just flashed to it when they were just explaining Jigsaw. He was covered in petroleum jelly
That one, yeah,
and
that
had
one.
a candle.
Watching him step on the glass and everything, and all through that.
Oh, it makes my
Yeah.
skin crawl.
I forgot about that. I don't know if it's the most ingenious, but that's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch. Oh, another one that's really hard to watch is when the guy was super glued to the seat and he had to rip his. Oh,
Ooh.
like those all just get me.
I
Yeah,
liked
fucking
the woman who played Diz in Starship Troopers, Dina somebody, when she was in the thing suspended up in the air, and then it just tore her apart.
Oh
and
yeah,
popped
she
her.
played
Yep.
the
Because she had to
police
go for the
officer.
key and the acid.
Oh,
And
yeah.
And
Well,
that's
that
when
one
they
was
started
fucked
the
up.
rigging. You
Yeah,
couldn't win the trap.
You couldn't win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was that one was
whole
fucked
thing
up
got-
too.
Yeah, there's so many that were really creative in that I always watch and I'm like, wow, chills sometimes on some of them. Some of them,
So-
like, are you that dumb? But
Oh yeah, like in the second one,
the
when
hand trap,
that was so stupid.
yeah,
Like you are dumb that you couldn't figure that out. She put one arm in and got stuck, and instead of taking her other arm and pushing it back,
that aside.
she puts her other arm in it, and now she's stuck. Like that was dumb.
Oh.
I mean, to that point, really, even with your hand in there, you can kind of try to bend your fingers to push this trap open.
You could have, and she didn't try
Yeah,
anything.
She didn't do anything.
She just kept
like,
ripping her
slice,
skin
slice.
open. Like
Right.
that was just dumb. But I
Yeah.
think that's like I think the point of that scene was to show she's just dumb.
Dumb. Yeah, there wasn't another point. It's just
Right. It was just
this
for
is our
that.
dumb girl. Everybody say hi.
Exactly.
There is I just thought, so there's like 2 movies, and I remember seeing the originals, and I don't think they've ever, done any kind of sequels to it. Was Wrong Turn and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I think they ought to do that. So,
Oh, shut up, Bill. Shut up, Bill.
I mean, I just watched Wrong Turn number 31, and
That's like
Wrong
saying Fast
Turn
and
was
Furious needs another sequel.
Yeah, the first Wrong Turn was good. They didn't stay that way.
I like the one with Rollins in it. I kind of like that one too. I think that was number 3.
There
But
was I think it was the latest one they did that I actually thought was pretty good. I thought it had a good ending, but I'm not positive it was a Wrong Turn movie. I think it was. And they're caught in a torture trap. It's almost cultist in a way, but at the end, she gets the best in a Winnebago. I can't remember if that was the Wrong Turn movie or not. I don't want to go through every detail of it because I'm not doing.
yeah, the only other one I thought of was, and they have done a reboot to it one time, but I always remember the original one. And with me, it was because I always knew that at some point in time the dogs were going to be the saviors. Was The Hills Have Eyes?
I loved the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. I absolutely loved Wes Craven's remake of Hills Have Eyes. I thought it was fantastic.
Yep.
And he did the original too. That's probably why. And I thought
I've
that
never
was a
seen
really
that
good
movie, and every time I hear someone talk about it, it just reminds me of Schitt's Creek with the crows have eyes.
And I
Crows.
think they ought to do better, but do another Jeepers Creepers and do it better.
Yeah, Jeepers
Yeah,
Creepers
I
could
would agree
probably
with that.
benefit from a reboot or a legacy sequel, and
Yeah.
going back from the original versus what they're trying to do now. What about because they've aged and in the genre of horror, what about some of the Alfred Hitchcock flicks? Like Vertigo, Psycho, The Birds.
I was thinking about The Birds a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those could benefit now, especially stuff like The Birds. The Birds was great, when it was made, but with what they could pull off now would be good. Psycho, we already figured out. If you're going to do a shot for shot, there's no reason to remake it.
Right.
Obviously. But Alfred Hitchcock has some of the most iconic films in history, and most remakes they do, even though they're not remakes, they're retitled versions of the film, like Disturbing Behavior, or Domestic Disturbance, which was a remake of Rear Window. They could definitely benefit from a remake treatment, but stay true to the source material.
They could do The Birds meets Jurassic Park and call it The Pterodactyls. There you go.
That was called Jurassic Park 3. Those need to stop. And I like the Jurassic
Yeah,
Park
they
films.
better
I
be
like Jurassic
done.
World.
Yeah.
I just like Bryce Dallas Howard. She's redhead, Yeah.
Yeah, well, Bryce Dallas, I think she did a good job, but I didn't like her because in the three, she changed characters every film.
Oh yeah,
she was
Miss
Yeah,
Priss.
that's dumb.
She was Miss Priss, and then she went to the savior of the dinosaurs, and yeah.
And then she was like Road Warrior or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It did. Well, the problem with these movies that they remake, especially like Jurassic Park, is you forget what your movie's about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the third movie was supposed to be about dinosaurs and world dominations, and it wasn't at all.
I mean, I did like Jurassic World. That was a good movie.
No, I loved when they brought it back. I thought Jurassic World was a great movie, and I liked the first half of Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Once they got to the mansion, because my problem is you got Jurassic Park from the originals, okay. Then you go Jurassic World because we're bigger, and then we go to Jurassic Mansion.
Like that's small. We're taking a step in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and then what's supposed to be Jurassic World out in the real world is Jurassic Confinement. It's just, it all boils down to this one little area. You didn't show anything really. Dinosaurs taken out. You had such potential, and you blew it.
Yeah.
Because you gave us the same kind of story. Jurassic World, I thought, was great. That was a great return to form for the franchise.
100%.
It was kind of cheesy. It was still PG, kind of in a way, but so was the original. Steven Spielberg horror has a special place in the industry. Stuff like Poltergeist, like Gremlins, like he wasn't Monster Squad. There was another one he did. Monster Squad. I missed that one. Wolfman's got nerds. I know. I'm too old. You to know that.
Keith will know this. You young ladies will not know this, but they need to go back to Northgate Cinema days and pull back Phantasm and the original Dawn of the Dead and the movies that played over there that Northgate Cinema didn't card you. They didn't care if you were underage. You go walk in there and watch an R-rated movie if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, I remember Northgate. Drew says to leave Hitchcock alone. Ouch. Some Hitchcock could... I mean, they're great stories, and there's not much you can do to improve upon them, but they suffer from audience reach, I think, nowadays. That's why I think they could benefit from if you stay true to the source material. Because they're in that genre where people today won't watch them just because they're the old black and white films or what they are. And the stories... Hitchcock's stories were so good. I think they can benefit from being redone, but do not try to fully modernize it. Do not try to add all this extra gore and effects. Know what those films are made for, like he was saying with The Birds. Could be good.
Really quick, I do want to make a little shout out to Drew. Drew's a great friend. I met him because he was just a regular at my bar, and now we're good friends. now we're buddies. We hang out, just not just while I'm working. It's really cool.
Well, glad to
so
have you
shout
here,
out Drew.
But I don't know. He said leave Hitchcock. I agree, though. I actually don't like the idea of remaking Hitchcock, but I think it could benefit because who here for, I won't say you, Nikki, because you're around my age, you're younger, Vertigo and Rear Window and all. Have you seen any of those films? That's what I mean. They're just out of reach for people, and they are fantastic movies. There's the train one. I can't remember the name of it right now.
I feel like now I can't trust you on your movie recommendations because you and I disagree on everything. I hated Malignant. You loved Malignant. I thought the new Saw was great. You said it was sucked. You didn't say it sucked. I'm being
Well, no,
dramatic.
you agreed with me with my complaints about the new Saw, though. You
No,
agreed
yeah,
with
I
it.
see where
Yeah.
you're coming from, but
Yeah.
I still loved watching it.
I enjoyed it. I watched it again. I saw it the next day with my brother after we went to see it. I
Okay,
went to
fair.
the theater with my brother. I've seen it on TV since. I still watch it and enjoy it, but it wasn't the return. When you talk in a movie, you want to do a return to form.
Yeah.
I want to go back to Saw 1, Saw 2, and give me a return to form is going back to those twists.
Yeah. And I do agree with you that the final trap, there were too many things that were perfect for it to work. So I hear you on that. But, and I'm just being biased also because the franchise is just so like nostalgic for me and I just love it so much. Like they could totally shit the bed and I'd still be like, great film, everyone should see it.
Oh, I watched I watched every Saw movie, good and bad, like before we saw it, and I have a marathon of them every year.
Yeah.
I love the Saw franchise. Even the ones that I say aren't good are good.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like, they're still entertaining, they're still torture porn, and that's what we watch those films for anyway.
Right. That's what I'm here for.
You know, so I'll give it that. And that's why I said I didn't think it was a bad movie, but it was 66% of that movie I had a big discrepancy with, which was how drawn out the first part was, and the lack of a big revealing twist and the perfect storm needed for the last part.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So the 33% is all that middle from the minute he kidnapped them all the way till they swapped the trap out and found out that I thought was fantastic.
Yeah.
So we kind of agree on that one. Malignant we disagree on because, well, you missed the
I didn't miss it. I understood the movie. I understood the movie. I had no questions throughout the whole movie. I understood it. I just thought it was stupid. Like, I'm the first person to say, if something goes over my head, I will shout it from the roofs because I feel like more people should do that instead of just like playing along with things. You know?
No, I know. I appreciate that about you, even if you're wrong, like in this case. But
I'm not wrong. That movie sucked.
I liked it. I will give you the fact that I don't know if I liked it because I was so used to the same shit from horror movies that were coming out, and that was a different thing. It was something different. The minute it wasn't supernatural, I got interested in that film because I was so expecting a supernatural type story. Okay, yeah, he's still the twin. It's supernatural in that sense, but it's not ghosts. It's not her seeing shit. It's not all that. So that kind of threw me. And there were scenes I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same room. That's things that made me think. And I get if you thought it was stupid. I mean, whatever.
Stupid.
So, have you guys watched? I think it's called A Quiet Place.
Yes.
Yes.
I like the second one better than the first one.
So did I.
I didn't see the second one.
I didn't like the first one all that much. It was okay, but I thought it was.
And I don't want to say this out loud because I love John Krasinski with every bone in my body, but I feel like he did a bad job.
Yeah.
Like I feel like his acting was fine, but like he directed the thing, and I feel like it sucked. Or he didn't direct it. He wrote it.
Yeah.
He wrote it.
I think he wrote it. I don't know, but he had a major part in it. I don't know if he was a director.
And they could redo the ones where the people are in the hotel or the cabin or whatever, and then the masked guys come over there. Is that Hostel?
No, the one I think you're talking about, not Visitors, it wasn't Vacancy, or You're Next is one too.
Or was it A Cabin in the Woods? Because that was like a comedy. Like scary movie.
To Cabin in the Woods. I love Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods was great.
I know. I absolutely
I loved that movie.
But see, I like the stuff that you could actually watch it and think, yeah, this could really happen.
That's kind of what I like when a movie pulls
that's
me
the
out
best
of supernatural.
Stuff. And that's why when she was saying Paranormal Activity, well, yeah, it was okay, but then when you could tell that it was set up and stuff like that, then that's whenever I kind of got turned off on it.
Well, that's how I felt after the second movie. Like the second movie, I still think the first movie was. Thank you, Drew.
I agree. I did like the second one better, and it could be because of the lack of him. I thought the second one was a lot better for A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Too.
I need to watch it.
It definitely made me appreciate the first one a little bit more, and I look forward to the next one because I wasn't really huge on it.
And I do think that Emily Blunt killed it. Like, I think that she did a great job in that movie.
And she had more focus in the second one too. Like I just
That's
it was
good.
well done, and it
Which
really I
is
thought was an
his
improvement.
real life wife, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Like,
And I wanna
that
see
scene
day
of
one.
her giving birth in a bathtub while trying to be silent, that like made my skin crawl. Like, that was crazy. It was emotional. It was scary, like, in that type of sense. Like, it was great acting.
I hope they do a good job with day one, because day one I think is supposed to come out early next year.
Oh, okay.
And I want to, which I thought you kind of did that, because Quiet Place Part 2 was advertised technically as being a prequel, though it was actually a sequel. Only the first 5
Okay.
minutes was a prequel to the film. The rest was all back to the sequel.
Oh, okay.
And
And
I think that
I'm
was
sorry.
one of the biggest complaints it had, and I think that's why they're making day one now.
They
Gotcha.
could
Actually do it
redo
proper.
the last house on the left.
They did, and I thought it was fantastic.
I know
It
for a
was, but
fact
I
I
don't
saw that movie, but
do
I
it
can't think of
again.
it right now.
I
mean-
think the newest Last House on the Left was the best Last House on the Left. I thought it was.
What
even
I
better
mean,
than
what
the original.
other kind of movie are you going to watch where a mom bites a guy's dick off and spits it in the water? You know, so
That's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna watch, or you're gonna watch. 'Cause I think you might have seen stuff like that elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I've seen The Last House on the Left.
well, you know, stuff happens at the movie bar. So yeah,
It was so
Uh,
brutal. Just like the remake of I Spit on Your Grave, I thought was fantastically
yes,
well done.
yes, that's what I'm going to say. Yep.
Not the sequels to it, but the original remake of that was a
Yeah.
very well done movie. And that was one that I think benefited from taking away from that 70s cinema style. You know, and giving it a different style really benefited that film.
So, what'd you guys think of I Drag You to Hell?
I
haven't
liked
seen
it.
that.
It was stupid. Do you mean Drag Me to Hell?
Drag Me to Hell.
With Anna Paquin, is it?
Uh huh.
Yeah. I loved it. I saw
Yeah.
that with my mom before she passed away, and we loved it. It was so creepy. The minute
My-
the goat's like, "You bitch," I'm like, "Oh my god, this movie is priceless." I'm like, it was actually a really good kind of horror movie story, but done with such a comedic undertone. It was like the perfect storm. It really was. It collided really well. I didn't like the end. I don't like Justin Long. Even he was good in it. He got what was coming to him.
Oh yeah.
I don't like him, but I liked him in Jeepers Creepers because his eyes got ripped out.
Mhm.
Always a plus. But there is so much to look forward to. I mean, we've talked about the films coming out. We said we were going to talk. Gabe unfortunately missed this show, which I think he was really looking forward to.
Oh.
It is the Halloween one. If I'd have known in advance, I would have had Jeremy on here too because he's a great movie buff for us. He always has a great opinion. But that's mostly it for this show. I'm going to say thank you everybody for being here. We said we weren't going to run longer than an hour and a half, and it's now an hour and 42 minutes.
So then we ought to go for. So we're going for 3 hours now. So just keep going.
Might as well.
Oh, we're at it.
I think Drew might want to go to bed.
He did just start a new job, so it's maybe.
He works. Oh no, he's just a customer of yours. You said.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Well, friends now, but
Well, now we're friends, but he was just a regular.
go to bed. Got to go to work. Well, good luck on your new job, Drew. It's actually good having you here. Thank you, Drino. It's good to see you. I don't know if you're still here or not, but it's great to have you in the chat. Everybody, I always appreciate you being here and watching and your input as well. Elena, of course. Aside from your one really bad choice in movies, I absolutely love you.
That movie sucks. I wish Brandon was in the chat right now because he would totally agree with me. He thought that movie was shit.
Tell me what it was again. I'm going to watch it.
Malignant.
Malignant. All right.
It's kind of, I don't know, because I hope you don't really remember what we said about it, because from my perspective, I think it's important not to know what's going on. Exactly.
Yeah.
I have drank 24
So you
ounces
don't
of
remember you did,
moonshine,
yeah.
so I'm not going to remember a damn thing.
Yeah, he ain't gonna
Perfect.
remember.
He ain't even gonna
Excellent.
remember to watch it.
And then we'll see who Bill agrees with. Bill will be the tiebreaker, and if it's a good movie or not.
Well, I'm gonna watch it because I'm curious now, so I'll chime in.
It's not super gory either, Nikki, so
No,
I
it's
feel like you
not.
won't have an issue with it.
I don't mind
it's
scary,
the end.
and I don't mind a little bit of blood and guts, but
The saw's a lot.
Yeah, that was just a lot, and that was just a lot. And the sawing off the leg, that was just
Oh, it was so good.
oh my god.
I loved every second of
I
it.
was not.
I think that was
prepared
the
for
most
what I
painful
saw.
to watch of anything I've seen. Like I was fine when it started, but as it go and you heard it go through the bone and do all that, and then
To watch her leg fall off, it was like,
Like,
ooh.
that hurt to watch
And
and
then
hear.
she had to freaking harvest her own bone marrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she didn't even do it in time. So she died
That's-
anyway.
I felt so bad for the people in the traps in that film because so many came so fucking close.
Right,
Yeah.
like the one that was getting burned or whatever.
Oh yeah, and she made it. I mean,
And then
probably
the
not for that
cunt,
long.
who I talked about earlier, killed her anyway.
Spoiler
That
alert.
I don't
cunt
underst-
helped her make it.
I don't understand how she can say the C word about 6 times so far, and all I did was say white trash Christmas, and I got booted.
I don't know.
I
It
didn't
doesn't make
type it.
sense just because you said white trash. Oh, yes, it did.
Oh, look.
I'm just kidding with you, Bill. I was like,
And cunt's my favorite word.
it's
so.
a great word. I don't know if it's YouTube's. We'll
See you
find out.
next Tuesday.
Oops.
I think we've been safe. We've definitely said some bad things on this show that has been fine. But our show's not meant for a younger audience, so
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, you always
did
put the
some
disclaimer.
disclaimers. Yeah.
I didn't this time. I just popped
We
up.
didn't. We just
True.
started right in. He just like, boom, no introduction, boom, here we are.
She's like,
We're live.
It's just like, are we live yet? I'm like,
It was already
I said,
live.
when
Like
are we going live? And then
it
I
was
just
already
saw
live
the
like
thing
5
pop up.
seconds up in the corner, and he's like, we're live.
why not have a show that way? Why not just, do something different, something unique, or something where, like, what was it,